Well, hey, I want to welcome you to Vescent Church, and in some way, somehow, you're new or you're doing something new. Um, Hopefully, at some point, I've had the chance to shake your hand, be introduced, and man, it'd be great if we've had a long conversation together. Um, we all have different inroads and on ramps to the church, and so possibly you're brand new. Um, Or maybe you've been here for a long, long time, but you never became a member and now you're actually considering that. So, in some way, somehow, there's something new that's going on in your life. And I just want to say welcome. Um, and to just tell you a little bit about me and my wife. Stephanie and I have been married at this point for 35 years, almost 36 years. We have two adult sons, Zach and Nick, and they are just such a delight to us. We love them with all of our hearts. And just a little bit about our background. We both are pastors' kids. We grew up in pastors' homes, and then as the Lord would have it, he had us called into ministry as well, and so that's really just a very special thing to us and something that we don't take lightly. We both met at what is now Nelson University. In those days, it was called Southwestern Bible College. And so I did my undergraduate work there, and Stephanie studied missions and music there. And then later on, I did some graduate level work. I have an earned Master's of Divinity degree from Fuller Seminary, and we have been in ministry for the same amount of time that we've been married. I mean, we've been full time, I should say. Even 2 years before we were married, we were serving on staff at a church. But for fully nearly 36 years now, we've been full time in ministry, and it is, like I say, it's what we do. We love it. It's the biggest joy of our lives. I want to tell you what this class is really about. It's a chance to just get to know Vescent Church. A lot of people take it for various reasons. If you're becoming a member, then it's required, but not everybody that watches the videos in this class is becoming a member. Some people are just interested to know more about the church, and I'm always glad to share about it. But like I say, if you want to become a member, then this is the on ramp to do that. And so one of the questions that I sometimes get is the name Vescent Church. Where did that come from? What does that mean? Well, it started a number of years ago. I preached a series of messages called Vescent. And Vescent comes from the idea of fiber optic cables, which are made of glass, and they conduct light passing through the wires at warp speed, and on occasion, when there's a bend in the wire, the the light bubbles up, and that is called Vescence. To my knowledge, we are the only church named Vescent Church. I am aware of one business named Vescent, and they do amplifier distribution. But we wanted a name that really was unique and that was short and something memorable. And so there was a whole church name selection committee when we launched the new vision several years ago that, researched it and gave input, and we landed at Vescent Church, and that is who we are. And one of the things we like to say is that we are on point, on purpose. Vescent Church is on point, on purpose. For really all of the 19 years to this point that we've been here at the church, we have centered one way or another around this idea called share, different ways of sharing the gospel. And right at this juncture, at this point in our ministry, we're really locked in on this aspect of sharing Christ on point, on purpose. On point, it just simply means that we have a real strategy. And our strategy is that we want to plant multiple campuses all over the city of Buckeye. As Buckeye grows, we envision having places of worship just such as this, where people can find Christ and find meaningful worship and grow in their walk with Him. So we're on point, on purpose. And so the strategy is because that Buckeye is so unique, and it really is. Buckeye is 640 square miles. Just by comparison, the city of Dallas, Texas is 440 square miles. I've heard people say about Dallas that it's a city that is really spread out, and it is. But Dallas has far more people than Buckeye will have, even at the build out of our master plan, which is scheduled over the next, 30 years to become a city of 1.2 million people. So you can imagine that Buckeye is going to be even more spread out, with a view of keeping the richness of the native land, really trying to respect the environment, and built into our growth is that we're going to preserve desert landscape and all of those things. And so the city's going to be really, really spread out. And we envision having multiple campuses where, as our city continues to grow, and it is growing, and it has been growing for the last 2 decades, and it will continue to grow for the next 2 decades, we want to have places already waiting for individuals who move to our city so that they can find Christ. So we share on point. That's our strategy. We share Christ on point, on purpose. And it just simply means that we do it with a great degree of intentionality. When we say on point, on purpose, we're very intentional about our mission and our vision. And so one of the ways that you can immediately get involved, if you haven't done it already, is to take what we call I've Got Next. I've Got Next is a one-day class that lasts 45 minutes, and it's an experience of all things Vescent. Maybe you've already had that class, or maybe you haven't. Different folks do it in different ways. If you haven't had it, the next time it rolls around, I really encourage you to take the class. It's usually offered on the first Sunday of the month at 9 a.m. typically, and it's always led either by myself or one of our pastors. And I really encourage you to do that, because that's going to be the class that tells you, hey, here's what we're all about, and this is how to get involved immediately. So if you haven't taken I've Got Next, be sure and sign up for it and enjoy it next time. There's always refreshments, small group. It's a really good time. But in that class, one of the things we talk about, I'll just hit on very briefly here, is our vision statement is that we use 5 different facets of ministry. And this modality of worship, serve, connect, grow, and go. And in this video, I'm not going to take time to really detail that out, but everything we do centers around worshiping the Lord. We're entirely God-focused and demonstrative. We have celebratory worship. We have intimate worship. We have lifestyle worship. We believe that worship continues even when you leave out of this building throughout our lifestyles. And so I would just also say the last area is to go. We're an Assemblies of God church. From the very beginning of our movement in 1914, the Assemblies of God had a vision to support world missions all around this globe. And so we really believe in the cause of advancing the gospel. We don't feel like it's fair for us to hear the gospel message many times, while some people have never even heard it one time. And so we believe in missions, so much so that we have actually given away so much money to advance the gospel through the years that we easily could have instead taken that money and built a new building. Sometimes you kind of think, oh, that would be awesome to have a brand spanking new building and all of the latest things that come with it. But the truth is that we value advancing the gospel even more than having newer, nicer things. And so our people have always been very sacrificial about giving financially, and we're very serious about praying over world missions. And so we have this 5-step model to worship, serve, grow, connect, and go. And then the last thing I'll say on this just introductory video, let me just tell you a little bit about our core values. Core values are not necessarily scriptures, but rather they are how we do what we do. Core values are things that if you really have a core value, it's something that you would be willing to pound your fist on the table for. It is definitely a non-negotiable. And so we've got different values. Authenticity, get real. You can be authentic. You can really be who you are. You don't have to be fake. Originality, we encourage you to be yourself. You are uniquely designed and crafted by the Lord with gifts that nobody else can replicate. And then relationship, risk relationship that is really deep and genuine. Faithfulness, use your God-given abilities to empower the kingdom, and being honest about your effectiveness, and being honest about your gifts. And then integrity. Integrity is important. It's very important. It's a very special held value that we have. In other words, be the same person outside of this building as you are inside of this building. Whether it's day or night, or whether you're in the marketplace or at your neighborhood, always be a person of integrity. 2 other ones, generosity. Generosity we practice all the time. We tell people that you should really give of the 2 most important things that will indicate where your values are: your calendar and your wallet. And so we practice generosity. If I can give my time to something, that shows I value it. And if I can give my finances towards something, then that also shows that I value it very much. And so the last one is just a commitment, reliability. In other words, your word, it means something. And if you can't be trusted to say that you will do something and then actually follow through and do it, then your word is not very valuable. And so we really try. We're not perfect, but we try to do what we say we will do, or offer a reason, an explanation why we're not able to do it. And we have that expectation of everybody in our church family as well. I want to just share with you, here's what you can expect, and also what we expect of you. What's expected of me if I join Vescent Church? We expect our members to be faithful in church attendance, to support the church with regular finances, to support leadership and the church's vision casting and sense of direction, to be faithful in prayer and Bible study, continuing to grow spiritually, and to support the cause of world missions. Our members, in turn, can expect to receive quality ministry in all areas where we serve, to have reasonable access to the pastoral staff and the leadership as needs arise, to be involved and invested in a ministry that matches your giftedness, and be held accountable to a biblical and godly ethic. And I'm thrilled that you're taking this class. I hope that you join with us. It's on the honor system. Just simply watch the 2 videos. That's all. And once you have done that, then fill out the membership card. You should see it right below these videos on this page. And just click submit, and then we will be faithful to get back with you right away. God bless you. Thanks so much for watching.